Good afternoon. I'm George Latimer, Westchester County Executive, and welcome to our Westchester Weekly Update. Today is Tuesday, December 26th. We hope that you've had a very Merry Christmas with you and your family, those who celebrate the Christmas holiday season, and we're into continual days of relaxation and special activity. Today in Britain is called Boxing Day. I'm not exactly sure why that's called Boxing Day. Maybe it's the boxing of the gifts. But we're also in the Kwanzaa season, and Ken Jenkins, our Deputy County Executive, is going to talk a little bit about that in a minute. And we're getting ready to close out the old year 2023 and start the new year 2024. So since this is our last update of the year, we won't see you before New Year's Eve. I want to mention that while everybody knows that Times Square is the center of the universe on New Year's Eve, and all the focus will be on the ball dropping down at Times Square, there are some programs here in Westchester County that will bring in the new year. Here in downtown White Plains, it's a little bit closer than going into Midtown Manhattan. We also have a traditional event that the City of White Plains conducts. Mayor Tom Roach and the White Plains Bid and the community has a New Year's Eve family spectacular. It starts at 10:30 here in downtown White Plains at the corner of Main Street and Court Street, and that's right next to Renaissance Plaza, just outside of our front door practically. There's live music and fireworks planned for New Year's Eve here in downtown White Plains. There's a program in downtown New Rochelle as well that will ring out the old and ring in the new. It's at Anderson Street Plaza, which is right in the heart of New Rochelle, between North Avenue and LeCount Place. And they start with a reception at 8 o'clock on New Year's Eve night. And then at 9 o'clock, they have music and a DJ and lots of entertainment. And they go on until 1 a.m. And they will be watching on live screens the ball drop from Times Square. So you can go to Times Square, you can go to White Plains, you can go to New Rochelle. All three of them have something that will directly affect the ringing in of the new year. The city of Peekskill has an annual New Year's Eve ball drop as well. It starts at 10 p.m. at 840 Main Street in downtown Peekskill. Also, live music, fireworks, and a countdown. So a lot of fun up in the northwestern part of our county at Peekskill. A little bit easier during the day, Dobbs Ferry Library has a celebration for a pajama party that targets kids. Story time, party hat decorating, and that party starts at 11:15 in the morning, goes to 12:15, and at 12 noon, there's a ball drop. That's what the little ones will enjoy at that time. It's targeted for children ages 2 to 12, and many of our public libraries throughout the course of this time will do something that will honor the new year. But we hope that you've had a good 2023. We've gone through our bumps and bruises, and we've also had our successes, and as we look ahead to 2024. In bidding farewell to 2023, we want to take a look back on the accomplishments here in this government over the last year, and we'd like for you to just take a look at this video. We are trying to show results that matter.
Some Westchester leaders want to require candidates for county office to submit a resume because of Santos.
For people to know whether or not you're telling the truth.
There is no place for hate in Westchester.
The challenge of today is to be eternally vigilant.
Today, Westchester County Executive George Latimer and Con Ed unveiling 34 public charging stations for electric vehicles.
Before we've had any huge mandates and certainly any sticks, as some people would advocate for it, we've used the kind of tools that we have available at a county level and at a municipal level to do a lot more creation of affordable units and units in general.
George Latimer calling on the feds now to speed up asylum hearings and add judges.
Make sure that asylum seekers have the opportunity to work. This is a location that's roughly in the middle of the county, but we want people in every corner of the county to know that it's here for them. People can come to this park, use this bathhouse, and be on that beach, and on a hot summer's day, cool themselves off. We can still find mutual respect in order that the brave make sure that we continue to be the free.
A county building in Mount Vernon was renamed for the late Reginald A. Lafayette.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the Reginald A. Lafayette Westchester County Office Building. It belongs to you.
Tonight in Westchester, the decline in crime takes a key spotlight among other successes and plans in County Executive George Latimer's 6th State of the County address.
we have significantly increased the funding for the Westchester County Department of Public Safety.
Second summer in a row, the $2.75 fare is being waived.
Yeah, the free fares also apply to the county's paratransit system.
A new development in Westchester County brings housing, shopping, and more just steps from a Metro North station. Officials gathered for a ribbon cutting earlier to mark the completion of the Avalon Harrison project.
Today, the county holds a remembrance ceremony by the memorial at Kensico Dam Plaza in Valhalla. And now there are granite stones etched with the names of 4 first responders who bravely served after the attacks and are now succumbing to 9/11 related illnesses.
Westchester County Executive George Latimer ordered flags to be flown half-staff on all Westchester County properties in solidarity with Israel.
Crime rates in the county are once again on the decline. Overall crime is down by 5.2%. Westchester County Executive George Latimer has unveiled his proposed operating budget for the next year. The $2.4 billion plan calls for 0% increase in the property tax levy. Well, Westchester County has just received a prestigious recognition that highlights its strong financial foundation. The county is celebrating its recent achievement of a AAA credit rating from Fitch Ratings. That's the highest designation possible.
Well, a holiday break starting next weekend, December 16th through January 1st, Beeline fares will be suspended.
We join with our Jewish brothers and sisters to celebrate the Festival of Lights. It now becomes law and fully operative. We now have a budget, my friends. Thank you. Congratulations. As you can see, highlights of this year included completing our 2024 Westchester County budget just within the last month. That's the 5th consecutive year that we have not had a tax levy increase. We also noted that the county has received a prestigious AAA bond rating from Fitch Ratings, returning back to where we were just before we took office. We have seen and analyzing a decrease in crime rates in the 5-year period of time from year-end 2017 to year-end 2022. We put more money into public safety initiatives. We've inaugurated new affordable housing units in a number of different places around the county. We've introduced public charging stations for electric vehicles, and we've completed the electrification of our bus system, which is not only good for the environment, but it's good for air quality, that you reduce the amount of diesel emissions, and particularly in our urban environments where the buses practice a lot of the routes back and forth to places like Mount Vernon, Yonkers, New Rochelle, White Plains, and so forth. We launched some of our key infrastructure projects this year, such as the Healing Garden at Ridge Road Park and our rededication of our county office building that is now known as the Reginald A. Lafayette office building in downtown Mount Vernon. So all of these successes that we've had in 2023 would not have been possible without the exceptional dedication of our county employees, and none of them would be possible without the work of county residents and all of these different things where they put faith in us. Our senior management team, the commissioners, the departments, all of the individuals that work for the county, the various organized labor unions, there's 9 of them that we interact with every day. We work in partnership with our local county, city, town, village governments in side-by-side work. We've had the great support of our state legislative delegation on initiatives that we look forward to. And we're hopeful that 2024 will be yet another year of achievement and accomplishment. So we all wish you a very peaceful and a prosperous new year to come. But New Year is still another few days away. Right now we're in the middle, just beginning, a celebration of African-American culture, unity, social values, and families. It's known as Kwanzaa. And I'm going to ask Ken Jenkins, our Deputy County Executive, to walk us through what Kwanzaa is all about. Ken?
Thanks, George. And certainly, Kwanzaa is a week-long African-American celebration of culture, unity, social values, and family. It's celebrated from December 26th to January 1st, and the holiday includes 7 principles, such as Umoja, which stands for unity, Kujichagulia, which is self-determination, Ujima, collective work and responsibility, Ujamaa, cooperative economics, Nia, purpose, Kumba, creativity, and Amani faith. It is a celebration that's not meant to take the place of a religious celebration like Christmas or anything like that. So it is in addition to the religious celebrations. There are several events that have already taken place in many of our municipalities, but we still have several that are going to happen in Westchester County, starting with today in the great city of Mount Vernon at the Dole Center at 4:15 p.m. They'll have their Kwanzaa celebration in the Dole Center. On the 27th, tomorrow, early in the day, White Plains at the Slater Center starts their Kwanzaa celebration at 2 p.m. And then following in White Plains at the New Rochelle Public Library in New Rochelle in the Ozzie Davis, Ruby Davis theater space at 7 p.m. at the New Rochelle Public Library. Also here in White Plains, we're going to have at the library tomorrow at 7 p.m. from 7 to 7:45 a family story time with the sounds of Kwanzaa, where you can learn more about Kwanzaa by listening to a story about a family who's celebrating, and then you enjoy some certain songs and crafts and celebration and recognition to the ancestors. On the 28th, December 28th, that's Thursday at 7 o'clock, in Peekskill, we'll be able to celebrate Hanukkah, Christmas, Kwanzaa, diversity, and the Nutcracker at this annual community event. They had their pre-Kwanzaa event in Peekskill last night, and this particular event is going to be at the Artist Spot in Peekskill, and those have ticket prices that are $10 per person. Friday, the 30th, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. in Tuckahoe. You'll be able to celebrate Tuckahoe with poetry and the community in the Tuckahoe Community Center space. And that's in Tuckahoe starting at 6 o'clock in Tuckahoe for Kwanzaa poetry. And then Saturday, we have up in Peekskill the 9th annual Kwanzaa Ball. That's going to be at the Peekskill Fire Department community space, which is in the Crossroads Shopping Center starting at 6 p.m. Certainly all of these particular events are online in the various communities, but once again, it's Kwanzaa that goes from December 26th today right through January 1st, and there's usually a celebration of a feast and a festival on the 31st in many different communities. So that's where we are for Kwanzaa. Enjoy Kwanzaa. May the time of this area give you an opportunity to learn more about Kwanzaa and celebrate in the spirit. Back to you, George.
We always try to reflect the diversity of Westchester County over the course of an annual basis. We raise the Irish flag during the month of March. We raise the Italian flag during the month of October. We raise the Albanian flag, I believe, in November. We have receptions here that take in the Lunar New Year for all of our Asian American Pacific Islander family. We have an Hispanic recognition in that mid-month September, mid-month October for Hispanics. As we look ahead to the coming months, February is the month of Black History, and we respect the Black culture and the accomplishments here in our day there. And across the board, we celebrate the Festival of Lights, Diwali, for our Hindu brothers and sisters, and there's also a Festival of Lights for Hanukkah, and we lit the menorah there. So we try to make sure that we show that all across the board, from the Islamic community to the Buddhist community, and all of the cultural ethnics in between, that we have a role to play in this diverse society. We are all Americans together, and we all have a common destiny and future intertwined, but we also take strength from our various heritages, and from the dance and the music and the food and the narratives, the stories that make us what we think is the strongest country on the planet because of that diversity and because all of those different ethnicities can work together toward common purpose. That's why we have these celebrations. That's why we recognize Kwanzaa, and we look forward to a very happy New Year for everybody else. And we hope that you'll be participant in those things as the days to come. And if you're going to participate in any of the events during the times that our buses are rolling, they're not 24-hour systems, so you have to make sure you know when the buses roll and where they roll. We continue to have a free Beeline bus system through the course of this week. We started this program a week ago Saturday, on Saturday, December 16th. The buses passes have been free up through that week leading up to Christmas, over the Christmas weekend, and they continue to be free all of this week and through the weekend, including up to the coming Monday, which is New Year's Day, January 1st. Fares are reinstituted on Tuesday, January 2nd, and we go back to the same baseline fare that we've had before. We have not raised the rate in season to cover the cost. We're able to afford to run the system, which does include salaries and does include bus maintenance on a regular basis, without the benefit of the fare, because we've been able to achieve in other revenue streams enough revenue to be able to balance the budget, and therefore we can do that. It is sort of a year-to-year scenario. We discuss these issues roughly a month or two in advance of the target date. We've done this the last 2 summers and now the last 2 holiday seasons. We hope we can do it again next year. It'll depend on other factors, but that's certainly what our intent is. And if you're out there and you're using the Beeline bus system or the paratransit system, we're hopeful that this is a benefit to you. It's a financial benefit. And for some people who don't ride the buses, this is a good way to be introduced to the bus system. You realize how they run. They're now all electric hybrid or electric buses. No more diesel buses out there, no more diesel exhaust, as I said earlier. And it's something that really represents a statement that really no other county in New York State has made. Ulster has free bus fares, but they don't have the fully electric service that we do. And we think that both for environmental reasons and economic reasons, we're on the right path with what we've done with our transportation. So it's a freebie. Make good use of it. Next, Ken and I want to welcome the new director of the Office of Housing Council, who we've just appointed. This is George Asante, and in this new responsibilities, which we'll be assuming as we enter into the new year, he has over a decade of legal experience, a dedication to justice, and proven track record of leadership within the legal services community. George has served as attorney in charge of the Mount Vernon Office of Legal Services of the Hudson Valley, and he has demonstrated over that period of time that he's an advocate for vulnerable populations, and he's addressed systemic barriers that exist in legal representation. This background that he has overseeing litigation and advocacy on behalf of tenants, particularly here in Westchester County, equips him with unique insights into local legal landscapes. The position that George is going to be taking on will be under the direction of our Commissioner of Social Services, Leonard Towns, and he will be responsible for leading the development and coordination of the Office of Housing Council, which will provide eviction prevention legal services for those who are income-eligible individuals on landlord-tenant issues handled by the court and at administrative hearings. This is important because we know that the Constitution grants a right for a person, regardless of their income, to have a lawyer assigned to them when they face a criminal matter. But it is not extended to all civil matters, and an eviction is a civil matter rather than a criminal matter. So by having this Office of Housing Council, we're only the second location in the state, New York City being the first, that has entered into this, and George Asante is the right person for this job. So George, please come up to the microphone and share a few thoughts. And as comfortable as you are, we welcome you to the county team.
Thank you, County Executive.
Thank you.
Thank you to the County Executive. Thank you to Deputy County Executive as well. Thank you to the DSS Commissioner. Thankful to all of you, thankful to all the residents of Westchester, and grateful for this appointment. I'm honored by it, and I look forward to serving the community of Westchester. I grew up in Westchester, and I'm happy to step into this role. I'm excited about the initiative, excited about the opportunity, excited about the change that we will make, and I'm looking forward to all of the challenges that come with it. I'd like to expand on what was mentioned about my background. I served as a staff attorney in Yonkers Housing Court. I've worked in Mount Vernon and New Rochelle City courts recently. So I have a wide experience in the different landscapes that exist within Westchester County. I've worked closely with community partners. I've worked closely with nonprofits. I've worked closely with tenants associations. And I'm looking forward to everything that comes with this initiative. I'm excited to be a part of it. I'm excited about the appointment, and I thank you so much for that. And I look forward to working closely with any partners who want to step in and be a part of this process. The last thing I wanted to mention is that I wanted to thank again the county executive, the leadership team, and everyone in this community who advocated for this legislation. I'm very proud of it. I'm very proud of what we're going to accomplish, and I look forward to the eventual rollout and eventual success of it all. So with that, I just wanted to thank everyone. Thank you all. I look forward to what may come and the difference that we'll all make.
Thank you. Thank you. George, thank you very much. Thank you. We appreciate your service, and we look forward to your additional service in this new role. George Asante. And I had to get sort of a little pride, when George, we went through his background, one of the stops that he had along the way was attorney in charge in Mount Vernon for legal services. And I've told the story before, but so unfortunately, Ken, you're going to have to hear it again. Approximately 46 years ago, it's a long time ago, I was a young man fresh out of graduate school in Mount Vernon, hired by the city of Mount Vernon through the planning department to run the Section 8 housing program. That program has been farmed out subsequently, but at the time was operated through the city. I was the director of the program, and I came into the world of dealing with people that had housing-related issues. I had to qualify them based on the program. I had a couple of people that worked with me. I had to go out and make a general assessment of apartments to make sure they were habitable, and then we'd have a building inspector check it out to make sure that it was correct. But there were so many elements of dealing with people that were in housing need that I was not prepared to deal with. And I had a link that helped set me straight on all of these. Her name was Judy Studebaker, and she's still with us today. Actually, I don't live very far from her these days. We've come to know each other later in our life. But at the time, she was the attorney in charge for legal services based in Mount Vernon City Hall, and I probably called her as much as any client while I was managing the program. So by extension, the service, George, that you provided in Mount Vernon, Yonkers, New Rochelle, and so forth is a service that 40-some-odd years ago I used as a member of municipal government to try to help us do the right thing. And now we're in a position, different positions 40-some-odd years later, to be able to help those very same tenants again. And that's what George will do, and we're very confident that you will succeed in your efforts. So thank you for being with us today. Next up, an update on our county health department, some of the work they're doing to look at COVID over the long haul. Back to Ken Jenkins.
Thanks, George. The Westchester County Health Department is conducting a survey at this point in time to better understand how long COVID, and long COVID is being defined as having COVID-19 symptoms for 3 months or longer, has impacted the health and well-being of Westchester County residents. This survey only takes an average of 15 minutes to complete, and you will receive a $10 Amazon gift card for your time and effort, so make sure to take that opportunity. The Westchester County Health Department has been working with folks. If you're 18 years or older, previously tested positive for COVID, and are experiencing or have experienced long COVID symptoms, we encourage you to take a few minutes to complete this survey. Your participation is completely voluntary, and the responses are anonymous. The information gathered will help healthcare providers, public health policymakers, and other stakeholders better understand the hardships of long COVID and develop strategies to mitigate these challenges. Very little is known about the impact of long COVID. Through this survey, our county health department gathering this data will be shared among those providers and policymakers to inform them of challenges faced by people with long COVID. If you have any questions about this survey or would like to request a paper survey by mail, please email the Department of Health at wccares-health@westchestercountiny.gov, which is going across the bottom of the screen, or call 914-813-5005. Of course, more information about this survey can be found on our county website at health.westchestergov.com. Make sure you take the time to do this, and long COVID could be any one of those symptoms at all. The most frequent one that we normally have heard over the course of the last few years is the ones that people's sense of smell has not returned. But any of the symptoms at all, please, please, please take the time to do this survey, not just for the $10 Amazon gift card, but more importantly, to make sure that we create policies and make changes to help people with long COVID. Back to you, George.
Okay, Ken, thank you. A couple things more to cover with you. Most people know that I'm a big sports fan, and one of the teams that I love are the Rangers, the New York Rangers. The Texas Rangers of baseball won a world championship. The New York Rangers are competing this year, but I want to talk about a completely different kind of Ranger today, and that is our seasonal park rangers. Westchester County's Department of Public Safety is now accepting applications for seasonal park rangers that patrol the county parks this summer. Applications are due by February 17th, so you have a little less than 2 months. They're available online from the Department of Safety, Public Safety's web pages. You can look up publicsafety.westchestergov.com. When you go on there, you'll see the information which you can file. Uniformed park rangers work under the supervision of the county police officers, and they help maintain a safe and enjoyable atmosphere in our county parks. They assist park users. They provide information on park rules and procedures. They help in searches for lost children. They perform basic first aid on occasion, sometimes make regular security checks of buildings and facilities, and they're an essential part of providing safety and protection at our various locations. First-time park rangers are paid $17 an hourly wage. Salaries are higher for those who have worked as a ranger for the county previously. To qualify, you must be a high school graduate, at least 18 years of age, a U.S. citizen, and possess a valid New York State driver's license by the time of your appointment. Preference in hiring may be shown to Westchester residents. The application form is found in the Employment Seasonal Park Rangers section of the department website. Many police officers that I run into today, people who've worked on the force and people, sergeants and lieutenants, trace back to when they served as park rangers as their initial introduction into the law enforcement community. So we encourage you to do this. If you go around and you see the different folks in park rangers, there are men and women, there are people of all different demographic backgrounds. The diversity is helpful to us. The ability to speak other languages, Spanish and others, are helpful to us because we deal with people for whom English is not always their major language or primary language, and all of those things are important. So you have an opportunity up to February 17th. If you're interested, go online as indicated. You can also call us at our number, 995-2900. We'll give you the information directly if you have any questions, and sign up, and hopefully, if it's right for you, you'll be a seasonal park ranger, and that'll be a step in the right direction, and it will help the county as well as help you in your career path. I'll let Ken cover parks, and then we'll close out after that. Ken?
Thanks, George. And as George was just talking about his sports aficionado, he will recognize on December 27th, and that's Wednesday, 7 to 9 p.m. The Westchester Knicks will be back in actions. They will be playing the Raptors 905, so that's their G League team for the Toronto Raptors, and the Westchester Knicks continue to light it up there in the county center, so it'll be a great opportunity for you to see right at Westchester County Center the Westchester Knicks. On the 28th, and continuing on for the remaining parts of the year, the Holidays on the Hill annual train show at Lasden Park and Arboretum up in Katona, where you'll be able to visit and celebrate the season with iconic and immersive exhibits that will delight audiences of all ages. You'll be able to see those H-level trains on 3 different levels, and you're going to be surrounded by the magic of the season as you stroll by colorful characters and enchanting holiday scenes that will continue right to the 31st, the 29th, 30th, and the 31st. So for the remaining part, 28th through the 31st, Holiday on the Hill, make sure you get an opportunity to see that. You did miss Santa. That Santa was there until the 24th, but had to make some quick runs, and Santa did what Santa needed to do around the world. So on the 31st, back at the Westchester County Center, and coming back for their opportunities to perform in front of all of us, the 31st, so Sunday the 31st at 12 p.m. or 5 p.m. So the original Harlem Globetrotters will be back in the Westchester County Center. It's certainly an exciting opportunity, so you'll be able to experience everyone's favorite basketball stars bringing out their amazing skills, outrageous athleticism, and non-stop good times as they go head-to-head against the Washington Generals. So again, that's the original Harlem Globetrotters returning to the County Center on December 31st, both at 12 p.m., so not midnight, 12 p.m., and then again at 5 p.m. So have that opportunity to get back and see the Westchester County, at the Westchester County Center, to see those original Harlem Globetrotters. And if you don't do anything else, make sure you sign up for the Parks E-Club weekly newsletter, because being a member of the Parks E-Club membership gets you an opportunity to get up-to-the-minute information on programs and events that are happening throughout the county park system. You'll get updates, promotions, and valuable discounts that are going to be delivered right to your inbox. So again, Westchester County Park System has so many tremendous events that are happening. Make sure you take an opportunity to take a look and get signed up for that eParks newsletter. Back to you, George.
Thanks very much, Ken. And as we close out this report, this is our last report for calendar year 2023. This completes 6 years of our administration. And it's always interesting to me when we hit some of these milestones as we look back, as we did in the video, what has been accomplished. And the things that have happened in prior years now that are really forgotten, they're in the rearview mirror, even though at the time that they happened, they were accomplishments. And I think sometimes about some of the issues that were at its moment in time so central to everything we did that are not major issues for us today. We struggled through some of the major projects that have now been completed when we were in the process of making the improvements on Memorial Field, and as we made through the process to save the Miller House or to establish the New Rochelle Family Court. These were all issues that were not clearly defined in how they would end up, and each one of them turned out successfully, and each of those issues happened over a year ago, prior to the beginning of this year. You certainly recall the whole COVID crisis that we went through. Right now, we're not tracking COVID every day as we did for over 3 years because the management of COVID is at a reasonable level. People are being vaccinated. When someone's going through COVID protocol, they wear a mask as they're supposed to, and we don't have the runaway infections that we had before. We don't need to give you an update on that. There was much concern over migrants and migrant placements in Westchester County. Over 6 months ago, we had 3 migrant placements. They've all been managed effectively, no crime, no disease. You hear nothing about them in the news because we've managed the issue well. There's a bigger issue, and that belongs to the federal government in terms of straightening out what's happening with our immigration system. But for those of us in local government, and when these things come to our front door, Yonkers, White Plains, Ardsley, and the county in general have managed these things well. We've had major capital projects that have fixed bridges and roadways that people have complained about. When they get fixed, we don't always hear the people calling us up to say, thank you for repaving Mamaroneck Avenue and fixing the median strip to the same degree that they were concerned about it before it happened. But the bottom line is these are all things that are accomplishments. So when we look to the new year, we all have our New Year resolutions. I have the same 2 New Year's resolutions every year, try to lose weight or keep it off, and try to learn some Spanish, because in this society, knowing Spanish, even un poco, is a good thing. Je parle français, but that isn't that helpful in the day-to-day living in Westchester County. There are New Year's resolutions that we have with a host of different issues. The budget, in a sense, of 2024 is a New Year's resolution where we've allocated money to do certain projects and certain things. George Asante's responsibilities in the Office of Housing Council is one of those areas which is, in essence, a New Year's resolution that we hope to be able to deal with the issue of evictions more effectively. But when we look forward aspirationally, and we hope that we'll do this in the new year, we hope we do that in the new year, we should look back with some sense of pride and accomplishment. Westchester County is not perfect. We have not accomplished everything we set out to do. There are problems in this society, and some of them right here in this county. But when you consider how far we've come in this period of time, how well we've worked together, how we've worked with community governments in a host of different areas, and these things weren't happening to the same degree in the past, we should have some sense of confidence. And that confidence is that reasonable people can work together. We can work across the aisle. We can work intergenerationally. We can work across different demographics, and we can find that common ground that moves us forward little by little. Most of the time, in our experience, improvement comes incrementally. It doesn't come exponentially. Try to lose weight and see how many pounds you're going to lose in a given week. A couple of pounds. And it's going to take consistent work over time to do that, and that is what we're committed to do as we look ahead to 2024. We wish you and your family a joyous Kwanzaa week. We hope you've had a wonderful Christmas and Hanukkah for those who celebrated that previously. We look forward to the new year, and after the new year, all of the different things that are going to be coming up thereafter. We're going to honor the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King on the weekend of his birthday in January. We look forward to going through the winter season effectively and get through it and get to the spring and get to the summer, and all of us to have a peaceful and safe life. I'm George Latimer, Westchester County Executive. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all of your interaction over the course of the last year. We wish you a very happy and a very healthy new year ahead.